We have a lot of people now, viewers with us, who know her very well. Let me begin this conversation one by one to just understand their perspectives, and we'll quickly go over with everyone on what they feel about the case. Let me begin with Manav Sharma, who is a cousin of Twisha. Manav, this is a very critical and tough time for your family. My condolences to your family.
Thank you.
And I can't imagine what's it like, to suffer a loss of a family member and then to have to sit on television and to put out a protest. So, more power to your family at this point in time. But Manav, what is it that you'd like to share about your cousin with our viewers?
The biggest thing that I can tell about her is that she was a person who was full of life, the happiest person I've known, and someone who went out of her way to make sure that people stay connected. We obviously stayed in different cities, so it was not very easy for us to communicate on a daily basis, but she made sure to send me letters, to send me gifts, to make sure that we are connected, that we talk. And she's the kind of person who would completely brighten up a room. And no matter what you're going through, she just make you laugh. And it is an utter shock that she has gone. This is something that nobody can process. Neither have they had the time to do it because of everything else going on, all the corruption that we're facing in Bhopal. And I still cannot believe it because this is someone I just spoke to last month. And
So
now she's gone.
Manav, when you spoke to Twisha, it's been only 5 months since her marriage. I'm sure those were slightly happier days and a happier time. But when you spoke to her a month back, was there any sort of indication, or sometimes there is some sort of an understanding amongst the family members that okay, she's going through some troubles or there is some problem. Was there any sort of indication that you were aware of?
There is no indication to be aware of because up until last month, the way that we communicated was quite normal, and she wished me a happy birthday. And this is something which makes it more of a shock. She was never the kind of person who would do anything to herself. And the moment that I received the news, which is completely false, this is something completely unexpected, and this is not possible for such a happy person to do on their own.
Manav, further, when you hear now her husband's side of the family coming out and saying that there was the drug abuse problem, etc., how do you react to that?
There is no drug abuse problem at all. And these are just stories made up to strengthen their own falsified case, which is not only corrupted but false. There is zero indication of drug abuse at all.
So you think that this is clearly an attempt by the family to malign her image?
Yes, exactly.
When was the last time, Manav, that you spoke to Twisha's husband? Or when was the last time that you met them at maybe some sort of, after their wedding, was there any sort of a meeting?
After their wedding, we had my brother Harshit's wedding, that is Twisha's sibling. That is the last time we met. And other than that, the only real conversation we've had is obviously at their wedding, which was in December. Nothing else otherwise.
So at this particular wedding, was there any sort of a feeling that you got from the couple? Of course, I'm assuming that Twisha's husband was also present now that he was a son-in-law.
Present, but there was no such indication. And every little aspect of this that has led up to this makes it more shocking than ever.
What to you, Manav, is the most shocking aspect of the entire narrative that is being drawn right now?
One of the most shocking aspects to me right now, currently, whatever corruption that we're facing for such a clear case, where not even an FIR was registered until nearly 2 days after, that even though bail has been rejected, he is still on the run. The harassment we have faced at the court, the amount of protests that we have had to do just to get a simple report stamp done.
And this
it
is
really makes me lose my faith in what kind of stuff is going on just because these people have influence after what they've done. This is other than every other little detail about the case that just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Even the autopsy of all things has been tampered with. That is why we want everything to be shifted to the Supreme Court in Delhi so that we can have a case that is not influenced, something that we can do fairly.
absolutely.